Search and navigation. Data model. Search is done via Solr application. It is delivered inside the Solr Facet Search extension and works in two modes: standalone and cloud. Standalone is the default mode. And this is how to enable cloud mode. Also, you will need to adapt the mode and the URL properties of the Solr server config model. On top of the Solr data model, there is a base site that is linked to facet search config. Facet search config contains list of indexed types and range of configs. Server config configures mode of the server, endpoint URL, and credentials for connection. Index process is configured at index config model. For full indexing, there are two modes: direct, which is done directly on live index, and two-phase, which is done on the separate index that will replace the main one. Optimize will reorganize physical storage of the index. It will decrease its size, but requires additional time, space, and is performance heavy. Default value for Optimizer mode is never. Commit mode specifies when to execute the commit on Solr. After index is a good option if batch size is small. Mixed will do a soft commit on each batch and hard after whole indexing. And never will not affect index and is used to test the indexing. Index type is a simple link to a Hybris type. Some of the values, like prices, can be put into ranges. For this, use value range and group them into set. Indexed property is used to describe property of the type. Value provider is the spring bean of the class responsible for indexing. Property can also be used as facet. For this case, there are special parameters. Indexer query connects index type with a query. And last types are for sorting. Sort field is described field for sorting and is tied to sort item, which is linked to indexed type. Let's wrap it up. Search and navigation is done via Solr. It can work in standalone or cloud modes. The main model is facet search config, which is having links on server config, index config, and indexed type. That's it for the data model.